Bill's career at Spectrum is blank, and I went with over.
I think legendary.
From The Athletic. The Athletic.
That is true.
Are you athletic? Just wonder.
It depends relative to whom.
You know, Kevin Ding, whenever he comes on our air, there's a little bell that we ring around. What are we going to do for you?
I don't know, like maybe there would be like a ram.
There we go.
Like an actual sheep let out on a leash.
Bill's making more money.
More money. Well, maybe he can buy a razor with all the new money because he's still embracing November is now, as he says, Manuary.
It's a scenario where LeBron just shuts it down. The team bottoms out in this stretch without AD. They're in 10th. LeBron looks at the path ahead, sees.
So dramatic.
Power rankings are a momentum ranking in the moment in time we're having this conversation, which is why the number 5 team in my power rankings is the surging and opportunistic, the team from the Bayou, the Brandon Ingram-led New Orleans Pelicans, who went to Phoenix. I am going to go with, again, the correct choice.
Don't do it, dude.
There's really a clear choice here.
Who?
You're going to make me say it?
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics.
I'm out.
Boston
Don't
Celtics,
come on my
defensive
show
juggernaut.
and put
Jason
them at
Tatum
one ever
playing
again.
like
Is that a profile pick in your younger days?
Is that your Abercrombie model league days?
I was considering a calendar for my wife. Trey Murphy, the third.
Fifth.
Here, Trey Murphy's name is not Trey Murphy the third. It's Trey because he's the third, but then he says the third again, which I think is redundant. Like, that's not how naming should work. Hot sauce.
No! Cut the music. I can't. It does actually say the Proctor sad. Are you sad? I am sad. That was oh
Trey
my
Murphy the
gosh.
third.
That's what you
made
got
it
out of
into
that?
the montage.
I got out of it, Geeter calling you dramatic.
Geeter
calling you
But what was left out of the montage was me then coming back for my victory lap when LeBron did get shut down at the end of the year.
Oh, so
how is the relationship? I'm just kidding. How are you feeling? Favorite memory with us before we move on?
Oh, wow. Favorite memory. I remember there was one time when I said that Ivica Zubac's nickname should be We Bought a Zoo. That was a fond memory. I have that video saved in my hard drive. No, I mean, it's the collective. It's the relationships with all of you here. You know, Allie, Brez, Geeter, coming here is always a highlight. It's an opportunity to have a lot of fun talking about this thing that really dominates our work lives and causes a lot of stress, and then we get to come here and we get to talk about it in a fun way. That was always a joy, and doing it for 9 years, it's been a privilege to cover the Lakers. It's been I never took for granted the fact that I was covering this franchise with its history and the people who are a part of it. It matters to so many people around the world, and having the opportunity to tell the stories of this team and to occasionally maybe try to hold them a little bit accountable, was a real honor, and something that I, covering Kobe, as a much younger reporter, coming in when Kobe was at the end, having the opportunity to, be around him and kind of learn some of the reporter-athlete give and take from somebody like him. And now, obviously the last few years with LeBron James and that relationship, which I really value. And, just kind of, something I'm going to take with me wherever I go from here.
Did you cover Kobe for 3 years?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, after he tore his Achilles.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm just being around him. I covered him for a little bit longer than that, but still,
Sure.
just thinking about the coverage, the day-to-day, he talked so much to us, so much more than many modern-day athletes, and the game has just shifted even since his retirement. I mean, after he tore his Achilles, he came out and talked to us. I mean, I'll never forget that about Kobe. Do you have one quick memory about him?
I just remember, I remember the first time I met Kobe, and I introduced myself at the visitors' locker room in Houston in my first year on the beat, and he hadn't barely been around because he was still recovering from the Achilles. And I walked over there, I'd been covering Al Jefferson, Paul Millsap, and Mo Williams with the Jazz. So here I am, first one-on-one with Kobe Bryant, and I say, "Hey, Kobe, my name is Bill Oram. I'm replacing Kevin Ding at the Orange County Register." And he looks at me, he goes, "Oh, I know."
Wow.
And that was the extent.
He did his homework.
Wow.
He knew I was there. He knew who I was, and he was always very, very aware of everything around him, but that included the media too.
We will always know who you are. We will always be aware where you are. We will have our tabs kept on you. You're awesome. You're wonderful.
Friends for life.
Not easy to transition, but we have to. We still have the rest of the show to do. So free agency opens on Thursday. He's off the table. And here's a look at the Lakers that are under contract. You see him right there. Russ, LeBron, AD, THT.
That's a full rotation.
Yeah.
They got a little work
what
to do.
else do they need?
Yeah.
They're set. From the Lakers under contract to Malik Monk, who's headed into free agency. He recently caught up with a friend of the show, Jovan Buha of The Athletic, to discuss his upcoming free agency, and he shared this quote They might not be able to pay me as much as I want, but I could be here and be way more comfortable as a Laker than going to any other team. They're paying me $5 million more. So it's just me trying to figure out what team would really want me. That seems very consistent and on par with who Malik Monk is. Bill, what'd you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that'd be Malik's, point of view. He had a great year with the Lakers. It seemed like a great cultural fit. He really, seemed to be, embraced by LeBron and AD and Russ. I think both sides would love for him to continue here. It becomes the financial piece, not just, can he get more than the Lakers mid-level exception that they have, but also, do they want to use their one real chip in free agency, which is the mid-level exception, on an offense, sorry, Malik, but, an offense, primarily offensive player when they have real glaring needs defensively. And I think that that's where you're going to see that mid-level exception get used. So then it becomes, well, Malik Monk isn't coming back for another year on the minimum. If he presumably is going to have suitors in that mid-level range. So I just don't really see how they make it work, despite good intentions on both sides.
Yeah, I'm with you. And remember, Kendrick Nunn is coming back off injury. And I'm not going to say they're the same player, but they're similar for sure. Malik, I think he's going to get a nice multi-year offer, 3 years, maybe $30 million, something like that. 2 years, 22, 24. He had a great year, period, Bill.
I just don't know. I don't know where that money is in the marketplace, but he deserves that.
He could get a full mid-level. Unfortunately for the Lakers, all they have is the mini tax-paying mid-level. So they might be outpriced by other teams that just don't have as large a payroll as the Lakers. So you're punished for having a big payroll. And that's what happens.
Yeah, you're punished for trading all your tradable assets for the albatross of Russell Westbrook.
It
actually feels like the system working.
Straight ahead on Access.
Allie's pounding the table.
I got you, though. Think about Russ's potential return to the Lake Show. Bill puts his vocabulary skills, oh boy, to work and around to fill in the blank next.